Hello and welcome to the Level 3 Non-Calculator Holiday Work Paper Answers. This is practice paper 2009-10. Okay, question 1 is about number operations with money. Be very careful adding these up, because it's either a right or wrong answer here for 1 mark, so take care. Similarly on this one, you could probably just add it up in your head to get £7.61. 12 stamps, we need to do 48 times 12. Again, the mental method is possible. You're better off doing it in long multiplication form to get £5.76. Again, it's either right or wrong here for 2 marks. And the last one, £5.20 divided by 8. None, remainder 5, 6, remainder 4, and 5. So 65p for the stamps there, pence. Okay, question 2 is a bid maths question, so make sure you do them carefully in the right order. 28, leave that alone. 12 divided by 4 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6. Now that you've got adding and subtracting, do it all at the same time. 28 minus 3 is 25, plus 6 is 31. 2 marks, 1 for the working, 1 for the answer. Indices before you multiply. So you've got 3/8 of 4 cubed, 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. Cross cancel, 8 3s are 24. Again, show your working, and then a mark for the answer. 140 is divisible by 2, 70 times, 2 again, 35 times, and it's 5 times 7. So using indices, you have 2 squared times 5 times 7. Now to make that a whole number, you need even indices. So you need to times it by 5 to make it 5 squared, and you need to times it by 7 to make 7 squared. So in total, you times it by 35. This one, be careful where your decimal point goes. When you do the multiplication, you get 1,764, but then you've got 3 decimal places in the question, so 3 in your answer, 1.764. On this one, you need to do the equivalent division, which is 25.7 divided by 7, so 25.2 divided by 7, which if you do carefully, it will be 3.6. So 3.6 for that last one. Okay, question 4 about number properties. Remember, you can't use a number more than once. So be careful about that. Multiple of 8 is 16, that's the only one. The square number is 4, 2 times 2. The cube number is 27, 3 times 3 times 3. A prime number, you have to do 5 or 29. And then the factor of 60, 5 or 20. If you've already used the 5, don't use it there, just go for 20. Okay, so a DVD is reduced by 15%. So a few ways you can do this one. If you do 15% of 18, make it £8, £18, cancel. 15 times 18 is 270, so £2.70. If you take that away from £18, carefully, you're left with £15.30. Now you could also do that by finding 85%, because if you've reduced it by 15, you're left with 85%. As a fraction, so 84 over 300, 1 metre is 100 centimetres. Now lots of cancelling you can do there, maybe by 2, and then by 3, and then by 2 again. Anyway, but you must end up with 7 25ths. Number 6 is an estimate, so that means rounding, and I think one significant figure is probably best. So diesel is £1 a litre, and you've got 30 litres, which would make it £30. Same with this one. If you make it 6,000 litres, 1 litre is 1,000 millilitres. Then you divide it by 300, which is approximately what each glass holds. Cancel, cancel. 60 divided by 3 is 20. Right, so Sam is celebrating his birthday. That's a good name. 2 identical cakes. Sam eats a quarter, his sister eats a sixth, and a friend eats 1 1/3. Now, to add these, we need the common denominator, which is 12. So we've got 3 12s, plus 2 12s, plus 1 and 4 12s. So add those up, 3, 5, 9, 1 and 9 12s. That's 2 marks, but you've got to simplify it to 1 3/4. So always checking you're simplifying your answers. There is 1 quarter left, so if you split a quarter, you get an eighth. Okay, so a third, part B, third of a class of 24 children are girls. 3/4 of the girls. So we need 3/4 of a third of 24. Cancel, cancel, cancel the 4, 6. So 6 girls play a musical instrument. And half the boys, we've got half of 2/3 of 24. Cancel, cancel. 3's into 24 is 8. So you've got 6 girls playing a musical instrument, 8 boys. In total, 14. 14 children learn a musical instrument. Part C, we've got 42 hours, and we've got to work out how many 1 1/2s go into 42. You can either do this by thinking about it, or if you make your 1 1/2 into a mixed number, improper fraction, you get 3/2. When you're dividing by a fraction, you flip it upside down and times. So 3's into 42 goes 14. 14 times 2 is 28. 28 circuits. Right, number 8 is again substitution. So it's well worth just noting down bid mass at the top. 3 times 5 plus 4 times minus 3, 15 plus negative 12. With a plus and negative, it's minus, so it's 3. Part 2, you've got 5 minus 2 times negative 3. 5 minus negative 6. When you take away a negative, it's a plus 11. Be very careful on this next one. It is 4 lots of negative 3 squared. Now you've got to do the indices before you multiply. So negative 3 squared, when you square a negative, you get a positive. So it's 4 times 9, 36. Indices before multiplying. The last one, you've got minus 3 plus 5 divided by minus 3 minus 5. So think about your number line here. Minus 3 plus 5 is 2. Minus 3 minus 5 is negative 8. And simplify your answer, negative 1/4, or negative 0.25. On this last bit, we've got to work out what t is. So 60 equals 6 plus 9 times this t divided by 2. So if we work this out, we've got 60 is 15t over 2. So something divided by 2 is 60, so that something must be 120. How many 15s go into 120? 80 do. So t is 80. Okay, 3/8 of m plus 4 is 28. Minus 4 from both sides. 3/8 of a number is 24. A couple of ways you can do this. Times by 8, divide by 3. Divide by 3 times by 8. Whichever way you do it, m is 64. Multiply out the brackets first. Get your letters on the left by minusing 10n and add your 12 to both sides. So you end up with negative 4n equals 16. Final step, divide by negative 4. 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4. Positive divided by negative is negative. Inequalities, treat them the same as an equation. Minus 5 from both sides, so 3q is less than 18. Divide by 3, q is less than 6. Note there you've actually got to write in q is less than 6 for your answer. This one, if you divide by negative 2, you get q and negative 5. And be very careful, in an inequality, when you divide by a negative, you flip the inequality sign. So before we had less than, this time we need greater than. Q is greater than or equal to negative 5. On your number line, because it includes 5, you fill in the circle. Because it doesn't include 6, you have an open circle, and q can be any value between them. So including 5, fill it in. Not including 6, don't fill it in. Okay, number 10, angle questions. First thing you'll see is a Z angle. So A is 50. To get B, well, this is an isosceles triangle. So we do 180 minus 50 divided by 2, because these are both the same. 130 divided by 2 is 65. So B is 65, and this one is 65. Label as you go. C, well, here's another isosceles triangle. So these two are the same. Now, we've got a straight line, which adds up to 180. So if we take away those two, take away 50, take away 65, we're left with 65. And then angle D is this little one here. Now this whole shape is a parallelogram. And because it's parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So if this one's 65, this one's 65 as well. We've got 50 degrees of that is already labelled, so D must be 15 degrees. So opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. Okay, here's a question to grab your spare sharp pencil on, so you can plot your points and be nice and accurate with where your shape is going. Obviously using a ruler as well. So there's shape A, which is a trapezium, of course. This is the line y equals 7. Do make sure you label it, otherwise you may lose a mark. To reflect it, it'll go up here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So B ends up here. C is a rotation clockwise, about the point 6, 7, anti-clockwise, sorry. So 90 degrees is here, and here, and here, and here. So there is C, a 90-degree rotation, and D, just make sure you really carefully count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and it's just moved to the left and up. Make sure you're really accurate with those. Sharp pencil, read the question carefully. 12 is about a pie chart. If there are 90 cakes, we've got to fit them into 360 degrees, which is 4 degrees per cake. So lemon is 35 times 4, which is 140 degrees for lemon, which is about here. Label angle, label cake. Chocolate's a third, so that'll be 120 degrees. So there's chocolate. Ginger is 10%. 10% is 36 degrees. And the rest, which is 64 degrees, is coffee. Doubled the number of chocolates, so in total there are now 120. And then if we work out the new degrees per cake, it'll be 3 degrees per cake. So 3 times 35 for lemon is 105 degrees for lemon cakes there. Okay, number 13 is about probability. Really make sure you put in the right numbers here. It's only 1 mark, but if you get them wrong, it may impact on all the other ones in the question. Okay, there's nothing wrong with getting out a highlighter or a different colour or doing shapes to show these. So odd number, odd odd, odd odd, odd odd, odd odd, odd odd, odd odd. So there are 6 of them out of a total of 15. Remember, probability is a fraction, not a percentage, and then you can simplify that to 2/5. 1 odd, 1 even, odd 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 even. So there are 7 of them out of 15, which you can't simplify. Now, Bradley notices the product is a square number. So which one of these, when you multiply them, give you a square number? Well, that one does, that one does, that one does, that one does, and that's it. So there are only 4 of them. So your probability is out of 4. Neither card shows a 3. Well, 3 of them don't show 3, so it's 3/4, 3 out of 4. Right, conversion graphs, another chance to grab a sharp spare pencil. There are 44 pints in 25 litres, because you times by 5. Then you find 25, 44, and there's your point there. It'll also go through 0, 0. So draw a nice straight line up through there. Show clearly, so you've got to draw the lines up and across, or across and down. 36 litres up and across gives you 64 pints. And this one then, 75 pints down and across is 42.5. So the difference is 17.5. Be really accurate at those. Check your scale. Make sure it's not just going up in 1s. This one's going up in 2s on the pint side. Number 15, fill in the table carefully. These 2 numbers are 25 and 36. Hopefully you'll notice that they are square numbers. So the first 8 odd numbers is going to be 64. These ones, 19, is the 10th odd number. So it's going to add up to 100. But you think 20 squared is 400. So what is the 20th odd number? The 20th odd number is 39. And the final bit, how do we get from this column to the last one of here, where if you square root it, you get t, you then double t, and minus 1. And that will work for all of them. So we take 16 Square root of 16 is 4. Double it minus 1 is 7. Square root of 9 is 3. Double it minus 1 is 5. So it's 2t minus 1. Right, how have you done? Add up your marks. Remember, for level 3, there is a multiplier of 1.2. So if you got 50%, you can times that by 1.2 to give you your level 2 equivalent score. And then 70% is an A, 60% is a B, 50% is a C.